Okay, good afternoon, ladies and gents. Hope everyone's well. It is the 16th of March, 2023. In case there's any new guys, this is the 2000 tick chart of the S&P 500, and we are trading futures contracts, and I'm using Pat's Mac system, priceactiontrading-system.com. So we are about 4 minutes away from the open. So I'm looking at the market so far, and we seem to have a little bit sideways in. We seem to have had two pushes down by the looks of things. 1, 2 fits quite nice in there. I did look at this trade. Unfortunately, as I looked at it, it came down, but that would have interested me. That so we had this. That was high. We had this new high. Try to go twice. A nice failure, exactly where I like to take it, and it tanked, which is a bit unfortunate because I just after that one leg down, we got a couple of pushes back up. We're hitting it a few times, and we seem to be now pushing down, and I'm expecting the market to probably come down to about here, I think. 2 nice legs down. But yeah, it's a bit unfortunate, that, isn't it? Because I tend to drop my profit down here and follow it down, and after that nice big bar, that would have excited me. I would have probably dropped it in towards the bottom. So it actually went down pretty quick by, well, it actually went down to about 14.5 points, but I'd have probably dropped, as we'd have pushed up here and come back down, I'd have probably dropped my stop in somewhere around the 8 to 10 points, I think. That's a bit unfortunate, isn't it? There does seem to be sometimes some better opportunities within the hour before the markets officially open. Things seem to be a little bit more stable, but I took a couple of trades every day, a couple of absolute beauties, and I got about 19 points in all. So, yeah, it's just a bit unfortunate sometimes, especially the way the markets are nowadays. You know, really, really good setups seem to be less and less, as we all know. So when you see something like that, it's sort of, hold on a minute, that can't be right. It's disbelief, and then I saw it drop like a stone. So it is what it is. Okay. Morning, Sam. How you doing? Ionis. How are you? Richard Cook. Good morning. DT299. Afternoon. Hope everyone's okay. Hope everyone's doing okay. Now, this is the last trading day for me this week. Most of you know I go away tomorrow just for a long weekend. So last trading day today, and I'm back on Tuesday. So I'm all ready to go. Loaded with a cup of tea. I've had my pep talk. I've had a little chat with a buddy of mine this morning, Nick. And we sort of give each other a little bit. I highly advise you to do that. If you chat to someone, we always usually click with some people, don't they? So there's a couple of guys I talk to regular, Nick and Marlon, and a bunch of other guys as well. But some people you just click with, and it's really good if you can meet up with someone and have a quick chat online. Just give each other a little bit of encouragement for the day. It all helps. Hey, Woot, how you doing, mate? Another guy there, Woot, I've spoken to you many times on Facebook. But yeah, if ever you guys want to message me on Facebook for whatever reason, I'm always there and I'm happy to chat. It helps me as well. It's, you know, somebody told me once, surround yourself with people you want to be like. So I tend to do. I'm quite happy to talk shop all day long. I've got no problem with that. So if you're ever bored one night and you feel like a chat, you know where I am. Just send me a private message and I'm happy to talk. Okay, so that to me is sort of like a visual second entry, but we've had this sort of a double bottom here. So I'm a little bit unsure about taking something. I mean, the market now is officially open in the last few seconds. We're getting close to this measured leg, but it just makes me a bit nervous, that, especially this close to the market. And I would say, by the looks of that, it's probably likely going to stop that out. It's sort of a failure. There's sort of our new high after this. So we're trying to go once, trying to go twice. I kind of like where it is, but we sort of almost double bottomed here, which makes me nervous, and I was right to do so. And it's a little bit congested because it's triggered and it's gone up, stopped out. So I still think there's a possibility we're going to get down here. Hey, leader loser, how you doing, mate? But I just don't like the way it's sort of almost stopped in two places there. I mean, that is a little bit lower, but it's almost double bottomed, and that tends to just make me think about what I'm doing a minute. Okay, we've had sort of one leg up, two legs up, but the bars are still big again. They were the same yesterday. The ATR is 4.2 at the moment. So a tick above, tick below, it's a 4 3/4 point risk. It's quite large. So I just want to be quite careful what I do. But yeah, we do seem to be having a bit of a downtrend at the moment. Well, yeah, we do. I mean, in the form of two legs. So we've had one leg down here. We've had a couple of pushes back up. Bounced it a few times, and it looks like we'll make another leg. And I expect the market to sort of come down there. I have a tighter channel. Took that second entry short. Right, you've got another channel in there, have you, mate? What second entry short do you take? You've got something like that, have you, or something like that? Yeah, I'm not sure at the moment. All I'm thinking at the moment is I think we're likely to come down here and have two legs, so we're not far off it anyway, really. But it does seem to be bouncing in the same place there, so I am aware of that. Yeah, that's the new low there, so it's been rejected off there. Let's see what it does again. Hopefully it'll push through it. There's no entry anyway. Once we've come down to here, then I'm going to sit back and figure out what it's going to do. So I'm going to have a drink of my tea. I had a chat with a mate of mine, Nick, actually sent me a message early, and he said to me something that stuck. Certain comments stick in your head, and he said to me, a loss is just simply a business expense. So losses seem to have a profound impact on us when really, if you think about this business, there's very, very little overheads. You know, everyone's got a computer, everyone's connected to the internet now, and there's not really a lot else you need. So if you were starting a business of, say, a tradesperson, you'd be going out and you'd be buying a van, you'd be buying your tools, you'd be paying for insurances and taxes and MOTs and maybe places to store. You've got so many different overheads and you quite happily pay them and don't bat an eyelid. But when we take a loss, it tends to have this sort of profound impact on us. But when really it's no more than a business expense, that's all it is. Something that's got to be paid from time to time. You know. Hey Tech, how you doing? Tech 111. Good morning, mate. How you doing? But yeah, I kind of like that. It made quite a lot of sense. That it's quite simple when you think about it. It's a business expense. It's just something that's got to be, got to come into play sometimes. So sometimes people will say things to you, and they'll, make you think, and they'll trigger something. So I kind of like that. No more than a business expense. Okay, it almost seems like it's ranging a touch here. So I'm a little bit nervous about, let me have a look. Maybe it isn't. Okay, there's a possible second entry short there. But it's pushed up. Yeah, it does seem like we're maybe ranging a little bit the way that's pushed up. With almost like a little fell breakout. ATR is dropping a little bit, which is all good. I mean, it has been pretty low lately. We've had it down under 2, which is half of what it is now. Yeah, okay. We seem to be sort of sideways a little bit in this range. You're going to push down a little bit of sideways there. I'll push down a bit more sideways. I still think we're likely to come down and make this measured leg, but Who knows? Markets have been that choppy lately. I mean, yesterday was bouncing all over the place. If you did a trade or made any money yesterday, I think you did okay. Because it was a tough day yesterday. Risk was higher. See if we bounce off this area. I'd say the way this is looking, I'd say I'd like to think it would be bounce off here. We've actually got the top of this little range and obviously the top of this, what I've drawn as a channel, which seems to fit okay. And those two legs sort of fit relatively nice with inside it. Bottoms are touching nice, touch there, touched a few times. I can't see anything else where, I mean, you could say there's a bit of a spiking channel. What I did yesterday is, you see, I extended a channel. Yeah, I don't know, maybe. I extended a channel yesterday. We had a channel up and I extended it. And I took a long trade in it. And what happened is, when I look back on my video yesterday, the channel was smaller. So what we'd had is a break and two pushes up to a new high. So you've got to be careful sometimes when you extend these. Ideally, with these channels, you want to try and keep them as tight as possible, because that's happened to me a bunch of times, and I think that's quite an inexperienced trader's mistake. And what it does is it just means you get trapped. And that's what happened to me yesterday. We'd had a sort of a channel like this, and we'd actually had a break. But before we'd had that sort of break in a new high, I extended the channel to incorporate that. So I ended up getting trapped. But you know, I don't mind things like that, because that's all part of the lessons. What I mind is taking something stupid. I believe it to be a good trade, so as far as I'm concerned, I'm happy to take the lesson from it. So I try and keep that in mind now if I ever adjust a trade. In fact, I try a channel. I try not to, actually, because it's always nice to be aware that it has broke. Now, one leg, two leg, one leg, two leg. I kind of like that. Let's have a look. One leg, two leg. Yeah. Let's see if we can get a. Where's that gone? Oh, don't be. Oh, where's that gone? Close.
Order submitted.
Just looking at this, that's all. One leg, two leg, and we've had a break out this channel. I don't like that bar. I'd say it's likely to come in one leg, two leg. It's made that right to the nearest tick. No, tell a lie. Yeah, right to the nearest tick. It's a second entry, but it's a poor bar. I would say it's very likely to come down here, but gotta be careful here. In fact, it's a possibility that could actually be maybe a little bit higher. But like that for now. Yeah, it's just making me nervous when it does this, because a lot of times it can push up a little bit of sideways and have another leg. But to me, that's two legs up, so I would say it's likely to come down. But likely, I'm saying likely as a loose word. It might not. Two leg. Yeah, it's not really a setup. See, no, let's get rid of that.
Order cancelled.
I thought if we have one like this, we have a break come down, really bearish bar, then it may have interested me. Yeah, see what I mean? Sometimes you can get a leg, bit of sideways and another leg, and that's what's happened. Okay. Let me just... Is this a bigger range, maybe? I don't know. It's probably safe to put it there and call that a breakout. Looks like two separate legs there. Let me just have a look. One leg, two legs. Yeah, if I'm not sure, I'm quite happy to let it go. You know, I've still got, the trouble is, sometimes we'll get these things stuck in my head. I'm still thinking we're going to come down and make a new low and we're going to hit this. And it's likely it will, but it doesn't always. Now that's hit that to the nearest tick. One leg, two legs. So I would say if that's a failed breakout, this may be an area where it might bounce off and come down. But I've been caught out so many times with that, because that really is floating up in the air by itself, and you've got to be pretty experienced to be able to take trades confidently there, and my experience of picking tops aren't very good. So the sensible thing for me to do would be to I don't know what happened to that trade I opened down here. I think it must have closed itself. There's nothing here, is there? No. Just check. No, there's nothing there. Okay, this may be a lower high. I don't like it. Now, if we can push back through here and come up, then I've got no problem with taking a failure. We made a new high. It's been confirmed. But it's not a brilliant bar. I don't like it. It's still a little bit congested here, so I prefer it to come down again, push back into this range, and then come up here and sit nice. But at the moment, it's just not for me. So it could come down and bounce off here and push up. It does almost seem like it's bottomed out here a little bit, doesn't it? So you took either this or this, did you? What did you take that one? So you said a spiking channel, didn't you? So you doing something like this, are you? I did look at that, but I don't like that bottom. It's just all a bit messy, to be honest with you. I'm not sure at the moment. It's just congested. It may come back in. It may come and make a new low. Who knows? But I'm not so sure. So if I'm not sure, it's just too risky. Which is why I never took that. I don't like the bar for a start, and you'd have been. The trouble is, if it's not really a clear way back in, and it's not really, you can get this sideways bit, and I'll be nervous in that. I got to say, I thought that it might get it triggered out, but stopped out, but I don't like. There's nothing worse than getting into a trade and it starts to go like that. It's knowing whether is it going to come down, is it going to stop you out? My best get taken out of break even or with something. And sometimes it's always nice to say, even if I come out with a few ticks, but then you hold on a little bit more than you should do. And it's that when it's going up and down, it's quite hard to make a decision. Sometimes I think it's best to just get out the trade with something, even if it's a tick, anything, but preferably not a loss. Okay, so we've had this. Now let's see if we go back in. I think we're likely to come down and make a new low. And if we make a new low, then possibly this. But so you fade the range, usually in the direction of the trends down. So I'd only be thinking about fading from the top. It's not to say it's not going to push back, and it depends. I'm thinking we're down at the moment, but market, obviously, it's doing this. It might have other ideas, but I would say based on that, I'd expect a little pullback and then another leg down to make a new low. But correct, yeah, you had it from here. Yeah, it just looks a bit sideways, down, sideways. So I'm not sure what it's doing anyway. I mean, we think we can all tell, can't we? It's likely to come down and make a new low. And by the speed it's coming down at and red, I've got, I'm pretty much confident that we're going to break this low and possibly hit this. But unfortunately, you just can't trade that, can you? If you took that as a short, it may come down here a little bit and come back out. It's just too risky. So there is a bearish bullish bar, which is a tick off its high, but that's in the range. So I would doubt that would be coming back into there. This would probably be a pullback and then another leg down. So if I took a short there, I wouldn't be concerned that this would be pushing back into the range. Now, there is a lower high there. I don't think it's going to get back here. I think it's just going to come down. Sometimes when they come down sharpish, they don't even get close to back to the aim. It's sort of half in and half out. So I just think it's going to come down. It'd be nice if we could get back to here, maybe bounce off the bottom. But I don't think after seeing this is going to push back in there. So it's a lower high, isn't it, that? I like it, but it's big. I'd say there may be some longs in there which have been trapped, but it's a big bar. Yeah, push down. I'd say we're likely to get another push down, but it's a big bar. It's 15 ticks, tick above, tick below. That's 17 ticks. That's 4.25 points. But it looks like it's getting a bit congested now. So one leg down, two leg down. I doubt it's going to push back in here. If it's going to push back in here, then I would say then maybe we are moving up now. I would think if it came up to here, it would just be likely retesting it. But I would still expect two legs down. I still think we're likely to. We've had this breakout, and I still think we're likely to make a new low, and possibly another leg, possibly this second leg. So I certainly think we're going to at least do this. But I may be wrong. This is just sort of, I don't know, an educated guess really, but I'm certainly not taking trades best on guesses. It's just nice to see if you're reading the market. For me, what I'm seeing a couple of moves down. So it's just nice to know if my thoughts are on the same line as other traders. If it pushes straight back in and goes up, then my thought process is out of whack. But I'd say for me, it's likely to just retest this and come back down. But I might be wrong. We may be moving up. Who knows? Who knows? What I will say and guarantee we're either going to be going up, down, or sideways, and I'll stake my reputation on that. So the way this is looking now, I'd say we're coming down, but you just can't trade that. It's congestion shit city, that is. It could just go either way. I would say if this finishes bearish, then I'd say we're probably likely going to come down, but you just can't trade that. That's pure risk. The trouble is when it is like this, see, I'm thinking that maybe a way down, but the trouble is sometimes when you think that and it's sideways, in a lot of cases it'll trigger below, go up and stop you out, and then drop like a stone. And there's nothing worse than getting into a trade and it starts to do this and goes up a bit. What we all ideally want is for this to drop. Now, I wouldn't be surprised in the slightest if that pushes out, ticked above this, because there's there may be some longs there, thinking we've pushed out, we've come back down, and we're pushing up. There may be some longs in there which are in a trade at the moment. There's probably going to be some shorts, maybe there or maybe there, which are in this trade at the moment. I'd say, from what I'm seeing, it's likely going to come down, but the trouble is when it gets like this, once we get below here, this midline, then I would say then we will start to move a little bit down a little bit quicker, but there's one leg, and I expect another one, but when it's like this, I think it's going to come down, but it's just a matter of when. It might go up and take out these shorts, might come down and take out these longs, who knows. Another possible trap there. So it might go up here and kick out. They are. So if you'd have gone short on any of those, you'd have got taken out. And you've gone long there, that might come down and take out the longs. So that's the trouble, is when it's like this, you just don't know what it's going to do. But from what I'm seeing, I'd say if you took that trade and you're thinking it's going to push higher, I would say it's coming down. I don't know. Or it could be, this could be a failure, a short failure, and it might go up. But just the way this is doing a little bit of correction, we may see another leg. I don't know. Let's see if this is a short failure. See if this goes up or traps and comes down. Actually, let me bring that down there. Okay, that. This could be some more sideways. Okay, looks like sort of sideways, a push, a couple of legs up and a bit more sideways. I had a bunch of affiliate link evaluation payments into my account yesterday. So if anybody used my code yesterday, thank you very much. It's greatly appreciated. It does enable me to trade full time with my weekend work. So it basically covers my trading. So if you used it, thanks. Much appreciated. Although regretting I didn't take a partial. Yeah, so I think what you took, was it that one? I'd say probably there is a second entry short there. I suppose there's a visual one there, isn't there? You could have took that one, you could have took that one, you could have took any of these, really, couldn't you? That was the one that interested me, the failure. So we got this, we came down and broke higher. So there's our new high. Trying to go on. So I like that. that was a nice failure. I love the bar, and it just dropped like a stone. Now I'm just wondering whether that was to do anything in the news. I don't think it was. Purchase one account code. Thanks, mate. I appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, there was a failure there. I looked at that one, but as I looked, it just came down. So that's the unfortunate thing sometimes. Guaranteed you go for a P and you miss a great trade. So, you know, I used to, you know, when I first started trading and I had a day off or something, I used to trade. I'd trade for about 7 hours. It was crazy. I was that frightened of missing a trade. But... Okay, so one leg, two leg. Maybe we are moving up. Let's have a look. Oh, bollocks. Get over there. Yes, makes me nervous about fading this range, but is it a range at the moment? Yeah, I suppose it is if you look at that and you look at that. It definitely seems to be working, but I don't know. It's just, you know, so many times it goes up, down, up, down, up, down. And I'm still thinking about going short. I've got to get that out of my head. I mean, you read multiple times channel break new low, channel break new high, and you read that so many times, and that's what you're looking for so many times. And when it doesn't do it, it's quite hard to get your head around it. You keep thinking, no, it's got to come down. You know, it might have done 25 legs up here, and you're thinking, no, we ain't made a new low yet. So it's really easy to get yourself stuck into these thought processes, and you can't sort of get it any other way. So Zalote, I have a wider uptrend. Okay, is it what I've just drawn now? Is it fits well from the lows? I think that's. I've just actually drawn that now, so I think that's probably. Is that what the trouble is? You're about 15 seconds behind me, so. Shh. Sorry. Sorry about that. Kick my dog up the arse. No, I haven't. Don't send me hate mail. I haven't. There we go. Okay, touch, a bunch of touches. That sort of, is that what you Yeah, it does seem to be working up now, doesn't it? So, I mean, it is possible that this could be more sort of like this, couldn't it, really? It does fit nice, I got to say. It's more a couple of legs rather than a trend, really, isn't it? Because we've only really touched it twice. It just does fit nice. But I think it's feasible. It could be something like that, maybe. I don't know. It doesn't see, nothing like that really works well, does it? But let's leave it anyway. I don't think it's terrible. But you know, if we've got one leg, we've got two legs. It hasn't quite hit the bottom, but that's okay. It doesn't always. Yeah, we do seem to be working up, don't we? Back up to the open. In fact, the overnight lows was. Yeah, we got overnight lows, which were there, which we're coming up to now, actually. Yes, we got the overnight lows in the open. So, funnily, they move. See, it's possible we could just have two pushes up, bounce off the overnight lows, and then come down. So it's always possible, but I'm not getting focused on definitely going down. So, nice 10-point run. Where did you go from? Here, did you? Yeah, the only trouble is if we break out of here, we could come down, tick a bit higher, and then come down. So I just, until we get up and down a few times, I haven't got the balls to go in. So we've also got a short-term trend channel, which you'd expect to break in a new low, but yeah, I'm assuming you got an ear somewhere, didn't you? Did you take that one, the failure stroke higher low? Yeah. My only concern with that is if this is a channel and we've had a break out of it, we've hit a bunch of times, you could have one leg, two legs, and cut. You know what I mean? I've been caught out with them before. Facts, I got caught out one yesterday. I'd originally sort of had it here. Let's say it's not a nice trend. I originally had it here, and what we'd had is had a break, and then I extended it. If you look at this now, it's very similar to what I took actually. This one there. If you extend this now, you think it's not had a break. And if it comes back here, you can take it. And that's what I did yesterday. So I always try and keep these as tight as I can. But, as Max says, you always usually go off the first two swings. And those are the first two swings. So this, I would say, then is valid. Okay, so we've pushed above the overnight lows. And it's rejected strongly. And not only that, we've sort of just bashed up this. Where's this here? We've just this this second leg, so we could come down and go higher, or we could one leg up, two leg up, we could come down and make any low. It's just hard to say at the moment, but we have just got that. We've been quite strongly rejected, and there's a quick 5 points down there. See, well, from here, if you class it from here, there's probably about 7 or 8 points straight down off this candle. So the trouble sometimes when you draw these channels, sometimes you can be thinking long, and what happens is it's actually had two legs up, hit where it wants to, and it's just rejected and it comes straight down. So this is all part of the fine tuning to be a trader, isn't it? Sometimes things just don't work, but the more, you know, from what I can gather from listening to Mac, the more screen time you have, you just get to understand it more and you get more in tune with it. And the more you see this day by day, you just notice things. You know, every time you take a trade and something goes wrong, you're learning. I remember when I first learned to drive, you know, you're concentrating that much sometimes looking at your steering wheel and your gear stick and your pedals. You're not looking up and you're missing the bigger picture. And it's sort of the same with trading in a sense. You know, once you've learned things, you can start to open your eyes and notice what's going on in the bigger picture and improve. Okay, so that is, you could say that is a hidden second entry long. Not particularly well as okay, but I don't like where it is, especially after we've rejected strongly off this overnight high and this measured leg. I wouldn't be thinking about going long just yet. I want to see what it's going to do here. But I'd be nervous about doing anything right at the moment. Okay, so we've had a lower high. Trouble is, you could take that thinking we're coming down and making a little low, and it could go up and take you out. I don't think it will. Just the way we were rejected off here. That's sort of what I expected. Maybe not quite as dramatic, but I still think one leg up, two legs up and then maybe back down to retest this lows, or it could just be a breakout and we might go higher. It's just so hard to say at the moment. I'm not convinced it's a channel just yet, because all for me we've had is one push up and another push up. See if we make a little pullback and come down lower, but I would say the channel is just maybe, I know it sort of fits here, but trouble is if it's going up slightly, you can, the trouble is from if you make a line to come from 2 points, it's going to fit guaranteed, isn't it? It's whether it fits for 3 or more points is the problem. I mean, you can make that line and you could say, well, there you go, that fits. You know what I mean? So you need really 3 different areas of it touching to confirm it, really, because that it took off from here and it came back and it's just touched it there, really. So this for me is a little pullback, and I'd say we're likely to come lower, I think. And that's the trouble with putting these in place too quick. I mean, this could be a channel down, 1 leg, 2 leg, down to make a new low. And just the fact that we've bounced off the overnight highs and we've made 2 measured legs, I would say it's likely now. Or it could be a range that we've just broken out of. But I would say now I would likely expect it to make a new low, or yeah, certainly to make a new low, I would have said. I did look at that, but that's the trouble sometimes when you have these. If you think 1 leg up, 2 legs up, rejection, we pushed down below the EMA, came back up lower high, finished on its nice place to go short. And that looks okay, but when you end up drawing channels like this too early, you think, well, I can't go short there because we're coming to the bottom of the range and we're likely to bounce off. But that's the trouble with drawing these things too early. You can miss trades. I thought 1 leg, 2 leg, but I am still aware that it may come down. But that's the trouble in drawing these trend channels too early. They can influence your decision making. So, oh well. Okay, so leg, 2 leg. Not only that, as if you had this, you might be thinking break new high. The trouble is that you could have, there's 2 schools of thought here. You could say maybe this is a pullback and we're going lower to break the lows of this channel, or you could say, well, perhaps this is a break and we're going higher to make a new high out of this channel. So this is the dilemma sometimes when you have conflicting bits of information. So if you think about it, really, this downtrend has only really had 2 individual touches. It's had multiple ones on the bottom, but to me this looks like 2 legs, but that's the problem. This is sort of similar, really. It's only really had similar touch there, but that's the problem. Did you go long there or what? That's why this business can be confusing sometimes. And I think as long as there's confusion, it's a time where you just sit and wait and let it sort itself out until it starts to become a little bit more clear. That's a break. Yeah, so this looks like a channel to me. A break, not quite a new low, but there was no entry there if you wanted to go low, really. But I'd say for me now, this is likely to make a new low. 1 leg down, 2 legs down. Yeah, and that will play all this out. And there's our current low of the day, which is there. Or it could be a range, fail breakout one side, fail breakout of another side. But I'd say it's more likely to have 2 legs down there. But this is just what I'm seeing from the market and my sort of educated guess, if you like, or uneducated guess. Okay, now there is a bullish bar right off the bottom here. You could call that fail breakout, which is triggered. So I think it might come down and take that out, and if it does, then I expect then there's a lot more bearish momentum, which I'd say then. So if you look at this, you could say, okay, there's a bit of a range here, so we've had a bit of a failed breakout. Now, it might push up, but it's just weird the way we've got a lovely big bullish bar. It's ticked above it, trying to come down. So that's the trouble. It's just a little bit unpredictable at the moment, isn't it? And this is garbage. What, me or the is that is that target at me or the PA? Yeah, see, to me this looks like I wouldn't be shocked if this does come down and take out there, because there may be some longs going there, which I think personally they've trapped me, unless we get a higher low. But I'll be nervous if I was in that trade thinking about failing the breakout, because the way this has been rejected off here, I'm quite confident that we're going to make a couple of legs, but it won't be the first time I'm wrong. The market, mate. Price almost like, well, thanks for the vote of confidence, lead and loser. You're not sure either, are you? See this. Possible second entry short off here to come lower. Things I'd say are bearish for me. That's what I'm seeing. Possible second entry short, but I'm just I think it needs to be a little bit more confident than this to take a trade, because it is congested, but things do look like they're coming down to me. We've had one leg, two legs up, strong rejection, straight down, pull back, which you're naturally going to have. I think two legs and then down again, I think, personally. You think we go up to you? Yeah, I'm not sure really, to be honest. I would say I kind of like that. I kind of like that trade. I'm not going to take it because it's congested, but I kind of like that. Because also you're going to have probably some longs there, I really like that, but I'm not going to take it because it is congested. But I'd say for me, this is the way down now. But it's just so congested, so you just don't know what it's going to do. It can be multiple traps. I just need to be confident. My arse will be twitching like a good one now. There you go. See, that's the one of the best reason, or the validated why I didn't get in, because you just don't know. It's not making sense. Yeah, I like to think we're coming down, especially as we've had this strong rejection from the overnight highs, and that was strong rejection. I always like to see a bar like that rather than a straight red bar, because obviously a straight red bar opens and just comes down, doesn't it? But this type of bar, the bearish pin bar, you've got all those buyers pushing the market up, and then they're being absolutely overpowered by the shorts coming down, and that for me is a stronger signal bar. I mean, they say these are the most bearish ones, a full red one, but for me, I like to see that, because I like to see it go up and then reject. That for me gives me a sort of more of a warm, fuzzy feeling. So that second entry long, did you? That one there. Right. No, that one. Or this one, I don't know. Second entry long. Yeah, it's just getting so congested, isn't it? Did anybody see Marco's video, by the way? If you didn't, go and watch it. He posted it on the Facebook group last night. Now, like Marco, he's a nice guy. He's only ever had good positive stuff to say to me. And I like to latch on to people if I feel that they've got something that I can benefit from. I'll watch them and study them. And he put a recording of a live trade he took. Now Marco trades with 10 Apex 10 Apex PA accounts, funded accounts, and he trades one trade a day, and he goes for 6 ticks and trades 3 contracts on each. So 6 ticks on 3 contracts, it's about $2,200 if you times that. If you times that by 10, so he's making about $2,000 every day. So I mean that is a $40,000. And I would say with only trading 2 ticks and his skill level, I would say loses very few. I'll be surprised if he loses any more than 1 trade a fortnight. If he takes 1 a day, that's 20 trades a month. I'll be surprised. I'll be surprised if he loses 2 trades out of that. I'd say his strike rate would be 95% plus. But he'd be putting $40,000 into his funded accounts every month. That is life-changing money. Because if you can do that consistently, then there's no reason why you can't start to scale up, and you can earn a sight more than that if you wanted to. But if you haven't seen him, go and have a look on the Facebook group. He's part of Top Pick Trading, is Marco, with I believe is it Tyler? Is it Tyler? Tyler? No, I'm thinking of someone else. What's his name? Not Tyler. I can't remember. But no, if you haven't seen his video, he posted a link to it. It's on YouTube. He posted a link to it yesterday, but yeah, over $2,000 a day going into his PA accounts. That's for 2 to 3 hours work. How many people do you know that earn $2,000 plus a day for 2 to 3 hours of work? No one I know, or no one I've ever known. That's serious money, that is. That's it. Yeah, he does. Yeah, the videos. Yeah, he just put a link to it in the Facebook group. I do watch him. He tends to do more of the bar by bar, and I think it's the other guy who tends to put recordings of his trades. Because they're like, I think he tends, I forget his name now, it'll come to me. He tends to go for somewhere around about the 3 to 4 points, his buddy does. But yeah, if you haven't seen it, go and watch it. But I didn't know he only traded 1 a day. So yeah, 1 a day, 3 contracts, and 10 accounts. So you times that by 10. So it just goes to show, really, once you start to get multiple accounts. And my honest opinion, as much as I like affiliate money, if you're still blowing accounts, my advice would be just to do 1 at a time. Because if you are blowing accounts, much better to blow 1 than blow half a dozen, because it becomes a lot more expensive and you will lose money while you're learning to trade. There's no other way. Why is he using Apex when he tried to start his own I don't know. I'm sure he said Apex. It might not be Apex, but I'm sure I read some. I don't know. He's a good trader, is Marco. He's very, if you listen to him, he's very robotic in his trading. Because trading for me, sometimes there's so much grey area, but when you listen to him trade, it's very black and white. He'll either say that trade interests me, or you can't trade that. And I think that's a good attitude to have. I think, people who can trade very robotically make good traders. It's just a formality. It's just a process, nothing more. Okay, I haven't really been paying attention, actually. We are sort of working our way down for this second leg, which I kind of expected. I think now we're out now. This is our target. Unfortunately, we had that break. We had a couple of legs back, and there's been no real entry. That's the downside. Navajo, they couldn't peaked with Apex also. The trouble is Apex have been going quite a while, and it does take time to build up your customer base, and obviously they're taking a lot of money in Apex. I believe they've got thousands, and it does take time to build up, to that sort of level. Okay, so where are we? One leg, yeah. I fully expect now to break this low. Unfortunately, I don't think. In fact, isn't that that's a failure, isn't it? Oh, I kind of like that.
Order submitted.
Try go once, try twice. That's a failure. Let's see how it finishes. I don't like this big, strong bar here, though. We had a high here. Try to go once. Try to go twice. Fails. Come down. See, I don't think it's. Let me have a look. Push out the top, come back in. Pushed out the bottom. Are we going to come back in? I don't know. Let's. I like that. I like that. Okay. I'm not sure how it's finished. I like where it's sat on top there, but I don't like just the way we push down here. So I'd say for me, we do look like we're moving down. I don't think we're pushing back into here. Let's see if this is any better. Try to go once, try to go twice. It is rejecting off this line. Let's see how bearish it finishes. No, okay. No, okay. Let's get rid of that.
Order
What I
canceled.
was expecting. Let me see if this can adjust at all. It's almost like two legs, that, doesn't it? Let's see if we can get a lower high, maybe. It is congested, mate. Yeah. Looks almost like a hidden second entry short. And I'm thinking we're coming down here, but the trouble is when it goes like this, you just don't know, do you? Let's see if we can push down and get a lower high. Because if we can get something around here, there's quite a nice distance to come down to this, to the lows, and possibly this other leg, which sort of almost comes into place. It could be range. Yeah, let me just bring this down a bit. Let's have a wee look. Yeah, actually, I think I prefer that. Yeah, okay, it's touching nice there. Touching nice there. We've had a little bit of a break out the bottom. We've had a break out the top. Okay. One leg, two legs. That's played out, so we can get rid of that. One leg, two leg. We've seen to have these two legs. We've had a break. Well, two pushes up, and it does look like we want to let bomb push down. Maybe another push. See if this breaks higher than this. As long as they're making lower and lower. That's the trouble. You got to make sure you're reading these right. Let's get rid of that for the minute. It's just in my way a bit. Okay, so there's our low of the day anyway. So add this. This then I would say then is just a failed breakout of this range. Okay, touch there, touch there, touch, touch, touch. Yeah, I think that's as good as any, I think. Okay, I would call that a break. I think it's always safer to call it a break. Because then when it does go up, it's also a second entry short. But it's just, I mean, we've had rejection there, but it's just a bit unpredictable at the moment. In fact, I'm going to take a quick 5-minute break, or am I? Yeah, I'm going to take a quick 5-minute break while it's messing around. ATR's come down below 3, so that's good. So your average risk with a tick above, tick below is 3.5 points, which is where I tend to like it, the ceiling. I tend to like it at the most 3.5 points. So then 2 losses in a day on 2 contracts is a maximum of $700 on a bad day. So actually, it's sort of fairly that bit. It's a bit upside down fair in a way, and it's sort of a bit odd. So I don't know what's going on at the moment. So I'm just going to take a quick 5-minute break, cup of coffee, and I'll be back. Okay. Ooh. Oh, I like that. Let's have a look. Short-term trend channel break. 2 legs up to a new high. Rejection. Right at the highs. Tempted, but I just don't know. Something I don't like about it. No argument. It's a break. 2 pushes up to a new high. So 3 times it's tried to come down there. That's what makes me nervous. So I'd like to know how many times we get rejection like this before it does come down. I mean, we are in this range at the moment, aren't we? But it'll seem to drop and try and push up again. That's what makes me nervous, because I'd say there's probably certainly going to be some shorts in here. So if I was going to take a trade, I'd rather wait for that to get halfway back up and just jump in with a sell order. But that to me is just risky. It's congested. That looks like rejection to me. We've pushed up. Shorts have pushed us down. They said no. Pushed up, shorts have pushed us down. Pushed up, shorts have pushed us down. Now, how many times are the shorts going to push us down? Are they going to give up? Who knows? But that's rejection to me when we push up and the shorts push us down. Same here. If you listen to Mac, he'll say that we've been rejected. Wondering whether we can extend this now. Hello, mate. How you doing? How you doing, mate? Are we coming back to this side now? It's hard to say, isn't it? Okay, so we've had possible lower high. I just don't like it at the moment. EMA's facing up. Things are moving up. And not after that as well. And then we still pushed up strong. So I'll be a bit nervous about shorting that even if it ended up bearish. So I'm just going to sit in what it didn't anyway. But Hmm. Okay. One leg up, two legs up. I don't know. I'm just unsure what's going up at the moment. Things seem to be moving up. I'm not going to go against that yet. Certainly seem to be ranging, but I'm just a bit nervous about that. It's not doing what I expected it to do. So we got a new high. Try go on. Technically a failure, but I'm not thinking about short or long at the moment. Mm. That's the overnight lows. See if we get anything from market. Yes. Happy days. There you go. You got your points. Whoever went for that. Wow, look at that go. Oof. So I'd say there was almost definitely some shorts there. Definitely some shorts there. Say this one leg up, two legs up. I suppose shorts are thinking down, make a new low, so they're probably sitting, thinking, okay, let's give it another chance to bounce before it goes lower. So there'll have been some shorts there. Some there, I'd say possibly. Straight up to the open. It's a few ticks off the open. Right, let's have a look what Matt's given us. Okay. Okay. Yeah, he's given us exactly the same here. One leg up, two legs up. So yeah, he's got that leg down, exactly the same. He's got that leg down, the same. He's got this. And he's got that. That's about right, isn't it? Oh, no. He's got it more there, I think. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. That's how Mac's got his charts. He's got this. He hasn't got that there though. He's got that down there, which finishes about there. Okay, so yeah, yeah, it still looks like a bit, mind you. His chart's finished here, so still maybe a bit rangy, but okay, that's how he's got that. That's how he's got that. Bullish looking candle, I'd say. Look at that. Excuse me a second. Excuse me just a second. That's okay. Let's have a look. Yeah, he's got that chart exactly like that. Break. So we haven't had the new low yet, but okay. He's got that. The same. Break. Excuse me, 2 legs down, 2 legs low. Okay. Okay. So, let's see if there's anything bigger there. See if you say there we've had a break new. It's hard to say, isn't it? I think the safer option is to take that. The trouble is, and I've done this so many times, I've drawn it, included it in it, and I'd like to think we've got a break. A couple of pushes up. So at the moment, that is probably, I mean, there may be a bigger trend there, I don't know, but at the moment I'm just trying to play the shorter stuff at the moment. That fits quite nice. We've had a break, 1, 2 pushes up to a new high so far. Now, if we continue to keep pushing up, then I may extend that a bit, but sometimes extending them, we can get you into trouble. Excuse me. See, I did this yesterday. We had something like that, and I extended it. Something like that, and I thought, there we go, new high. Sorry, then I thought like second entry, and what happened? It triggered and came back down, and we'd already actually had a break. So if I'm unsure, I tend to take the safer option and assume we've already had a break, and it may come back down. But so we've had a break. We've had 1, 2 pushes up to a new high so far. Maybe another one. We'll say this will pump up by 60, 70 points. You think, and then drop like a rock. Drop like a rock. You think? 60, 70 points. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. You think it's going to go up to there? Let's say you were here, weren't you? So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 to 70 points. So you think about 399, do you? Around about here. That was yesterday's high. We'll leave that there, bud. So at least we can blame you when it doesn't work. 60, 70 points and then drop. Mate, if you're right, then I'm following you from tomorrow onwards. In fact, let's make that a different colour just in case I get confused with something. Let's make that pink. There we go. Nice pretty colour for you there, bud. I might be a little bit biased though. What did you say first? I feel bearish because, yeah, we feel bearish because, yeah, okay. But chart tells me up. Yeah, that's the trouble sometimes. I've had this push down. This could be a bit of a correction. It may come down, but sometimes it's very easy to, when you have this and you have a couple of legs up, to, you know, to start thinking I do it myself regularly. But sometimes there's no real rhyme nor reason, is there? It just might go up and down randomly sometimes, and you just don't know why. So maybe now we'll extend this a bit to say there. Okay. So let's say we had it here and it has had a break and a new high. So it may. I think that's okay. It fits quite nice everywhere. But I'm aware that it could have had a break. So let's see it like that. So we have the overnight highs there, which are there. So the overnight lows are there, overnight highs are there. So let's change them colours to something like blue or something, shall we? Blue, there we go, apply. Okay, so there's the overnight highs. Extend right, overnight lows. Okay, highs, lows. And that is yesterday's high and the open. Touch, 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 touch. Okay, that's gone up far enough, and I think that fits in there. There's no argument there, I don't think. Let's change these colours. Spring green. There we go. Let's have the uptrends. Different colour. Down, up. Okay, so the overnight highs are coming up here. That's strong movement, that, isn't it? Trouble is, it's that bloody far from the bottom of it, and the yeah. Let's just make this a little bit. There we go. Okay, so overnight highs, overnight lows. So we've moved into this area now. Doesn't look like it, does it? That's the trouble sometimes. Candles seem to be getting a bit small. The ATR's dropping a touch, so that's okay. Yeah. ATR's dropping there. These bars are getting smaller and smaller, aren't they? Which is a good thing. We can get rid of that now. Let's have a look. Okay, so this actually, the way this is sitting at the moment, this just could now be, let's make this a bit bigger, just a bigger range there, I think. That seems to be sitting kind of nice there. Let's get rid of that. We don't need that. Yeah. Let's see what happens. Yeah, it looks just like a range day now at the moment, doesn't it? Push down, a little bit of sideways, push up, so a little bit of sideways there, and then a push back up. So overnight highs, top of the range as we speak. I would say an overshoot. I could probably adjust this a fraction. It's hard to say whether it's an overshoot or not because, okay, I'd say that's probably, yeah, it's clearly pushing out this. It's sat in that midline nice, and it's obviously had two sharp pushes up. So that's now the overnight highs, and that is a tick off the overnight highs, and there we go, new high of the day. So I'm just wondering now whether buyers will be a little bit less inclined to get in here, so I expect probably to have a little bit of a pullback after this. Yeah, you're not wrong, Toad. No, we're in. I mean, look how far it is from the EMA, and indeed the bottom of this. It's just hit and hope trading that, isn't it? And that's the frustrating thing sometimes when you just see, this is the last touch of the EMA and it's gone up, what, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 45 points. And it's just got further and further away from the EMA. I'm all right, Toad. How you doing, mate? I'm not too bad at all. All good. You can swear properly if you want, mate. I got no issues with that. Get it out your system. Okay, definitely overshoot, so I expect a little bit of a pullback here. I'd say it's pretty risky jumping in there. So I expect it at least to come down the midline, maybe a bit lower. Oh, excuse me. Because we've had an overshoot, we may come back a bit and continue up higher, or we may. What's the overshoot can mean? It starts to go in the other direction. I mean, that's a strong push up, isn't it? That's a very strong push up, right from the bottoms, isn't it? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. That's like 55 points up pretty quickly. So what's that? 22. Yeah. Yeah, 30 minutes. Straight up. God, if you've only taken the bottom here. And then the trouble is, riding that, you just don't know, do you? If you took that one off the bottom. It's quite a nice bar, I think, but trouble is, it's easy in hindsight, isn't it? I bet that bloody gorilla guy would be in here, wouldn't he? He'd have the confidence to go up. That's what a lot of it is, isn't it? It's just having confidence. Now, I wonder if there's going to be a second entry and we're going to go a bit higher. It's very bullish at the moment, isn't it? Trouble is, it's very easy to get trapped here, isn't it? You get a bullish bar here, second entry, triggers you, comes down, so then you got the first entry, and then obviously it comes down and a failure, a long failure, and traps you and takes it down. So that's a shame, isn't it? It is frustrating when you see that, isn't it? Wow. Couple of contracts, quick $5,000 out. 5, 10, 50, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Yeah, comfortable. $5,000. Man, $5,000. You got 10 contracts. If you got 10 accounts and you managed to run that, you'd have $50,000 in your account in one trade. In hindsight, a wonderful thing. Confidence to execute one's rules and not be skittish. Yeah, I suppose that comes with, as the more skilled you get, confidence comes with it, doesn't it? The more you have confidence in your skill, then the more you'll have confidence. And not only that, once you start building an account, if you've got over $20,000 in an account and you're trading 2 contracts, it's not so much of a worry, isn't it, to let something ride now and again if you believe it's going higher. So many times when we've had these range days, I've taken 3 points and I pretty much know that it's going to come back. I did it the other day that it's going to come back over and it came down 14.75 points. I came out sort of knowing that it was going to come down, but that's just, it's those little doubts in the back of your mind. But yeah, it's like anything, with skill comes confidence. The better you get at it, the more you do this day by day, once you start making regular money, it'll be like any other job. You'll just get better and better at it, and more confident, and you'll just, most of us second guessing. Yeah, I mean, we're getting better at predicting. I mean, because all we're doing here really is predicting human behaviour. It's what are human beings thinking when they see this? I know I'm thinking, I wish I'd had a piece of it. But it's human behaviour, isn't it? And every time it comes down here, what are human beings thinking when it comes here? Well, if you look at that bar there, they're thinking I ain't going any bloody lower, aren't they? Because if you look, obviously we're bouncing, but it's the trouble is, it's having the confidence. I mean, it is a second entry long, isn't it? But it's having the confidence to do that, because I don't know how many times I've picked bottoms, but that sits nice, actually, if you think about it. It's a lovely bar, and it sits right at its high, but it's a fair chunky bar, isn't it? It's not massive. It's 4.25 points with a tick above, tick below. And if you'd have had the confidence, but we didn't really know it was going to do that, did we? That's the trouble. It's easy to look back at the chart now and think, right, that's what I should have got in, that's what I should have got out. But it doesn't always work that way. I mean, even if you'd have taken it to the top, to the sort of top of here, you'd have still got 5, 10, 15, 20. You'd have still got sort of maybe 18 points out of it. Second entry long. There wasn't really nothing there, was there? Trouble is, we're coming to the top of it now, haven't we? We exhausted a bit. 1 leg, 2 legs. Are we going to go further up? It's certainly possible based on this, isn't it? We got yesterday's highs. Oh, we got yesterday's highs. That is. Just remove that. I can't see the EMA. Why won't that move? Okay, it's all right. I couldn't see where the EMA was then. Yeah, that's the trouble, isn't it? That's triggered. It looks like 2 legs back, and that's triggered, but it's actually sat just under the EMA, so I think that's really risky. It's congested, isn't it? I'd say if you're in that trade, I think it's pretty likely it's going to get stopped out, but I think it's just enough under the EMA to put people off taking it. And there we go. So this, yeah. That's the trouble with these. Okay, so that fits right to... Okay, that's pretty nice there. Trouble is, when you have an overshoot, obviously we can come in the opposite direction then, can't we? But I don't like that at the moment. I don't know what's going on here. Too risky. And we've had a big movement up there, haven't we? I think the chances of us continuing. Obviously, it's, you know, we've come to here where we've pushed down. We haven't quite come as high, and we've pushed down again. So it could be a couple of legs down and another big push up. Who knows? But I can't trade this at the moment. We know we can't, can we? It's just a little bit too tricky, isn't it? Does look like a couple of legs, doesn't it? But I'll get that focus sometimes on pushing higher. It gets me in trouble. So sometimes if I'm not really sure, I mean, I can't see how you'd draw that any different. That to me fits perfectly in there. This first section fits nicely up here. Then we've had that big strong bar there, and it's taken into this next section, this top tier, and then we've had a strong push out. And then we've had 1-2 legs back. So perhaps there is a lot of bullish momentum here, but we've just had to have a little bit of a correction. That's what it looks like. But it's not giving me confidence to go long, so oh. Okay, where are we going, people? Where are we going? Does look like 2 legs, doesn't it? I'd say that not far away. I'd say that gorilla guy will be in there almost definitely. 1 leg, 2 legs. That's the type of trade he loves. Let me just see if it's not going to track. Okay, so that's possible failure. So I prefer a higher low, or a lower high, sorry. Let me just check. So this is where I get in trouble sometimes. I get caught going short. So that's a failure. So I prefer that to trigger coming down below here and then going bullish above here. I've got to be careful. I tend to get trapped sometimes. So if you're here, there's your high. Try guy once, try guy twice. No way in, really. There was that one. But the trouble is, you just don't know. You don't know whether it's going to trigger above and create a failed second entry long, and then come down and rip you apart. See if we can get a higher low, 1 leg, maybe another leg. It's too far away for me, that is. Tempting as it is. It's a break. Look at that. Yeah, there was a higher low there. It's just where it is. Oh, that's a shame, really. Had a nice push that. Oh, lovely put. Oh my good grief! Look at that. I'd have panicked about here. I reckon I could have got some nice points. And that is frustrating when you see that, isn't it? Trouble is, when you have these overshoots, they can be a bit unpredictable. Sometimes you can do this. You can go higher, couple of legs down. You take that trade. It triggers higher, comes down, creates a failure, and down it comes. It is frustrating sometimes, but that's part of the game, isn't it? Yeah, it's a bit unpredictable here, isn't it? And that lies the problem. Sometimes it'll work. If you took that trade, second entry long, trouble is it could be trying to go once, trying to go twice, it triggers above there, comes down, perfect place for shorts to get rid of you there, and then down we come. Because we've had this overshoot, we can, obviously, it can create a reversal. So it's just bloody frustrating, isn't it? But it has sort of retested those tops, isn't it? It's retested the overnight highs and it's dropped below, then pushed out. So, yeah, well, there's just nothing safe. I think that's a bit risky personally, especially because we've got the high, we're coming down a bit lower, You just don't know whether it's going to tick above and come down. Trend is strong, yeah, but at some point, the more it goes up, you think at some point it's got to come down a bit, isn't it? Or at least something. It sort of looks like we've had an overshoot and then a couple of legs, and then obviously then it's gained some momentum then to push a bit higher. We can't just keep going like that and like that all day long. It's got to have a bit of a correction. Trouble is that now has played out, and we've had two matching highs there. So if you had a second entry long off here, would you take it? It's risky, isn't it? One leg, two leg. We've had this new high. So we've had a short-term trend channel break, new high. We've tried once again. I know the trouble is every time something happens, you can remind yourself that the trend's strong, but at some point it's gonna have to die off. I mean, the place to get into a strong trend ideally is right down here, and hope you just catch a run. Sometimes you will, won't you? But you never quite expect it to do something like that. This could be one leg down, two leg down. Do you want to go higher? Oh, I don't know. See, that now has played out. It's played out. This has played out. And there's a short-term trend chart which had a break and played out. Two nice legs there. So it becomes a bit more risky, doesn't it? And I'm quite happy to sit here for 3 hours just to get one trade. If I get a nice trade, I just want to make sure it's a nice one. Because this is my last trading day now till Tuesday, so I want to go into the weekend on green ideally. I'd rather go into the weekend on zero. If that's the case, I don't mind, putting it back till next week and carrying on again. Not much of a pullback. Okay, so possible second entry long here. One leg down, two legs down. I mean, there's some strong buying there, I've got to say, isn't there? One leg down, two leg down. Let's get an order ready.
Order submitted.
One leg down. I prefer to come a little bit closer to the EMA here. One leg, two leg. Two legs down. I don't like that. Possible second entry long. Trouble is, that's played out and this is played out, so I can't take it in all
Order
good conscience
cancelled.
because it could now start to come down, maybe to retest these, and the last thing I want to do is being caught going long. That would just be the excited me trying to make money rather than the sensible me. I would prefer to come back and retest the overnight highs before I even consider going along. But this now is played out. This short-term trend channel is played out with two nice legs, so I can't in all good conscience go long at the moment. So I'm quite happy to let that go by. I think it's risky. Let me have a blow it out and have a look. It's a lot of buying. Yeah, see, this is played out. Second entry long, but that could trap some longs. Second entry long. Risky in my opinion, especially below the EMA. The EMA's gone a bit flat. Both these channels are played out. Depends how much buying pressure there is. My Apex. Let me place a trade. Is it active account? It might be a problem. So again, my Apex won't let me place a trade. It is an active account. What might be the problem? Are you getting any type of an error message? Are you? Are you getting an error message when it comes up? Because sometimes you can have a problem with Rhythmic. We had a problem. Was it day before yesterday? I think. So occasionally, let me just open a trade just to check everything works okay with me.
Order submitted.
Okay.
Order
if you get an error
canceled.
message. Let me know if you get an error message. Okay, so that has pushed up. But you're getting an error message, are you? Okay, shut down NinjaTrader, close it down, shut down Rhythmic, and then try opening it back up. And if you get the same error message, you have to open a ticket. Go on the Apex website. In fact, let me just see. Sometimes on the Apex Facebook groups, if other people get a problem, they post something. So let's see if anybody else is saying anything. Yeah. Try just reshutting everything down and rebooting it. No messages yet. So yeah, just shut NinjaTrader down, then shut that down and try it again. Sometimes that's all it takes. Let's have a look at this. Maybe it's going to keep going up. Two legs down and push up again. So it looks like it's trying to. Trouble is, as tempting as it is to try and do it, I can't do it. I have to just I gotta play by the rules now. I've spent enough of the last 2 years messing around and throwing money in the wrong direction and taking stupid risks and gambles. Once you've done it so many times, you start to realise it just doesn't work. It's getting a bit congested around this area. So let me know how you get on, Ryan. Is it Ryan or Rin? Ryan? Rin. I think it's Rin, isn't it? Stan Ripper. High or low works. Stan Ripper. You're not Australian, are you, Stan? Or are you from the UK? We spoke before, I can't remember. That's a good name, that is. Stan Ripper. I like that one. You haven't got any relatives with the first name Yorkshire by any chance, have you? Okay, it is struggling to get up a bit now, but we may have a push, a little bit of size and a push again. Yeah, if you're taking 1 point, Stan, it definitely makes life a bit easier. 1 point's, I mean, look at this, 1 point's it's very small movement, isn't it? It's, what is it though, 1 point, yeah, it's about a third of the length of a bar, isn't it, just over? What are we doing now? It's getting a bit choppy, isn't it now? It's a bit unpredictable. It's so easy. So try to get what's possible failure. Maybe some shorts. Maybe go. I don't know what's going on. Working out, is it? Oh, good on you, mate. Yeah, sometimes that's all it takes. Something doesn't like something. What you want to do as well is get. I don't know if I can show you. Can I? There is something you can get from. Let's see if I can find it. From Apex. It's called Apex. Let me just click on it. No, I better not actually. Apex Desktop Assistant. And what it does, if you just double click and open it, you can clear out all the junk, basically, all the cache, tick, hour, and all that, all the different, the cache, basically. I can't think of the word I'm thinking of at the moment, but because sometimes all the information that you save and that just tends to clog it and slow it down. So yeah, Apex Desktop Assistant, you can get it from Apex, and you just don't click it. It just clears out all the junk basically and speeds it up a little bit. Okay, yeah. See that short? See how quick that short triggered and pushed up. Oh, look at that. So I'm guessing there. We got a couple of pushes up there, and a short there, and I'd say quite a few people got trapped there while I quick that pushed up. It jumped up literally 3 or 4 points, didn't it? Quick. Yeah, 3.25 points. Yeah, see, we sort of, all this had played out, everything had played out. So maybe people are thinking, okay, one leg down, maybe another leg down, break, new low. So I'd say there was definitely some shorts there, and that triggered and shot up. You know, it shot straight up to here. Then when it broke above it, we had that really quick push. So I don't think the longs have finished yet. I think there's still a lot more people, and that is that a failure? Maybe not. No. I'd say I think there's a reasonable chance we may continue up. I don't think people are finished yet. Yeah, markets are definitely not as easy as they used to be. I remember when I started a couple of years ago, things seemed so much. See, when you got inflation down around 2%, you get nice steady growth. And the S&P, like other indices, you should just get a nice general slow move up. So there was lots more opportunities when I started. You obviously get pullbacks and days where we're pulling back a little bit, but I don't remember it being as bad as choppy. There was a lot more trades around. I was looking at some of my charts from 18 months ago, and there was so many more trending days. And that's the trouble. You got high inflation. It just makes things, people are in, people are out. Obviously, with all the issues we've had with the Silicon Bank at the moment, people are losing faith in banks. I got a little money in crypto. In fact, I got a long position which just triggered about half an hour ago. I tell you, I follow, and I actually do quite well out of him as well. He's really good. See if I can find him. James, the crypto guru. He lives in Dubai, He makes a ton of money. He lives in Dubai, and he's got about 78,000 followers. And he posts his trades as well. And I've taken quite a lot of his trades, and that they do really well. So he's really believable. Okay, second entry long off here. I'm not so sure. I'm not. It's tempting, isn't it? I kind of like this.
Order submitted.
Trouble is, you gotta be careful you don't get trapped. Let's see if it triggers. Okay, that would have been alright, that. What are they giving us? It's just the way it just dropped down at the last minute a little bit. What's that? 2 points. Still, I've just got a bit nervous about it. It is a second entry long, but it's still a bit. It's just all this couple of push up, then a strong push back, and then up, a strong push up and down. It's just a little bit unpredictable.
Order cancelled.
It was a nice second entry, but it's very much sideways at the moment. So, and that's the trouble with these. I'd have had my take profit towards the top of these highs, and then when it came down like that, I don't like trades like that. I like to do obvious trades, and the obvious really good trades tend to move in the direction that they're supposed to pretty quickly. It's just come back down now, seeing it's now congested, so I'd hate to be in that trade now. I'd get out of it, actually. Okay, maybe I'd be okay with it now. Yeah, see, you just don't know, do you? It is a little bit choppy, isn't it? It's not making sort of smooth, fluid movements, is it? Yeah, I mean, it pushed up anyway. It worked in the end, but it's still a risky trade. This might be a bit of a spike in channel, actually. It's still a risky trade. Excuse me a sec. Okay. Look at that big push up. So that might not be a bad trade, actually. I wonder if anybody else took that. Look at that. Ooh, look at that. To be fair, once it hit there, I'd have panicked. And, I'm like, I've got the confidence, but I did think that may be worth a trade. It's sort of like a push up, a little bit of sideways in there. I'd say we've broken yesterday's highs. That may come back a little bit, but it's just a little bit unpredictable at the moment, so I think it's a bit dangerous. Maybe a spike in the channel there. To our first target. Oh, right, that's it. You've, where have you gone? Oh, it's here, isn't it? Is that what we marked for you? Yeah, it was. Okay, if it gets up there, I'm cancelling my live stream and following you from tomorrow. Okay. I mean, you were right about a big, strong movement. There's no argument there. I thought it's possible to move across here, but I didn't think we'd do it with such vigor and then bounce back and then have another strong push up. The trouble is, sometimes when you have those strong days, you've just got to try and get back on. I mean, if you look here, it's pushed up, it's come back, it's pushed up, it's come back, it's pushed up. Every time it's come back, it's pushed up. So maybe that would have been an okay risk. But until I saw this, it's still a little bit predictable, very unpredictable. 3.5, 4.5, 2.75. Yeah, it's only 3.25 point risk with a tick above and below, so it's not huge. It's breaking a new extreme inside the channel versus a new extreme that forms outside the channel. How do you interpret? Trying to learn. Read that again. break and a new extreme inside the channel versus a new extreme that forms outside the channel. See if I can understand that. So if let me just see if I'm thinking about the right things. Okay, so we're in this channel at the moment. If you have a break outside of it here, so let's say I have 2 pushes outside, most of the time you'll get what they call a new extreme, or in this case a new high. So if you're going up a break, you'll generally retest these highs and make a new high, and vice versa coming down. So that's inside the channel. Okay, so inside the channel, you're not going to break, are you? Let me just read that again. Break and a new extreme inside the channel. Okay, so you say a break. You don't really get a break within a channel if I'm reading you right. So in a channel, a break is only really when we actually break out of that channel. So here, if we'd have had a leg down and had another leg down outside the channel, it's a good place to look for trades, like it would be a second entry long off here. Obviously, if it finished bullish and it was sat above there, that would be a break from the channel. Then you would expect to have a new extreme, or in an uptrend, you would expect to have a new high. So Marco took second entry long, did he? That one, he took that one there, did he? I think the bit that put me off is because it's very sideways here, isn't it? But it does look like a spike in a channel, but it's a little bit sideways. It just made me a bit nervous. Oh well. Oh well. But yeah, I hope I've cleaned that up, mate. So a break will be a break out of a channel. So if you've got a channel up near, we have a break. So let me find a break in a channel. Okay, so there's a channel. We've got a break and a new high before it comes back down. So you'd be looking to take longs there, but you have to take into consideration the market's coming down, so you don't really want to be counter trend trading. So we have this break there, so we've got a push down. We have this break. You'd expect a new low, which we did, or we certainly did here. So you'd be looking to take shorts off there. So you get small channels, and these channels are larger ones, and you get channels within channels. But I'm not very good at explaining things, to be honest with you, mate. But do you know the thing about that is it just came down a little bit too close. I couldn't quite see it clearly, and it just made me a bit nervous with all this. It's a bit choppy, but it is a second entry off the key entry point. But oh well. Yeah, sorry if I haven't explained it well, mate. I'm not very good at explaining. I can understand them myself, but I'm not always the best to explain them. Okay. If you don't count that, 1 leg, 2 legs. I don't know what's going on here. So we've come to this yesterday's. Roger, do you watch him trade? Does he show his trades, or is it's just on a Discord, isn't it? The trouble is, some of his trades are built around for the size he takes. That's the only downside. But it was a clear second entry, clear 2 legs, but it just, because of all this stuff, it just almost looks a little bit sideways. But oh well, it is what it is. Okay, another bullish bar off there. It's a little bit sideways there. Let's have a look. It sort of is. It is sort of 2 legs back, isn't it? If we can get a higher low, maybe. I don't know. Trouble is, the more of this stuff that moves on, the more sometimes you get frustrated with not having an entry and missing out on such a big move. But Sometimes when you get a big strong day like this, it just keeps going, and sometimes if you miss the opportunity, see if we can get a higher low. See if this comes down and pushes back up again. Let me get an order ready just in case.
Order submitted.
So, try it once, try it twice. Let's see if this triggers. Okay, that's triggered. So let's see now if we get something above this.
Order cancelled. Order submitted.
If this turns up bullish, see, there may be some shorts there. So let's just, if I do take it, I'd rather take it above there for safety. But I don't think it's going to. No.
Order cancelled.
Wade Discord. It is he's in Thomas Wade's Discord, is he? Oh, I thought he had his own one. I've got a sworn he had his own one. I prefer that to come down to at least level with that before I even think about it. Sometimes it's every time it comes off here, it's pushing higher. Risky. Maybe some shorts trap there. That's a higher low.
Order submitted.
It's off the key entry point above the EMA. Something about it I'm not sure about. Okay, it's broken above there. Let me just see if I can get this on a limit order. I'll get this on a limit order. It's a higher low, which is broken above there. I don't want to pay a lot for it. No, there's something I don't like. I'm not comfortable with that.
Order cancelled.
I've been trapped so many times with these. If they're a little bit unpredictable, you know, I mean, it might go up and I might miss out on it, but I really want a higher low, really, for that. Just trying to think. There's going to be some shorts there almost definitely. Let's
Order
get another
submitted.
limit order in again. Where was the top there? Yeah, I just don't like it. I think I left that for the right reason, because I think if anybody went long there or there, that may come and stop them out. It's just not right to me.
Order cancelled.
I don't want to let the patience get the better of me. It's just not very clear at the moment. I'd say that is probably more of a range at the moment. Yeah, I'm not interested in this at the moment. It's a bit unpredictable. I'd say, yeah, this is a bit of a channel, but it's a bloody messy, unpredictable one, isn't it? And I'm not a fan of it. It might go higher, and it probably will, but the trouble is when we have these big, strong days, sometimes they can just keep going on. And it's so tempted to just jump in there on a limit order and have another go, and all of a sudden, bam, it takes you out because there's almost, there's probably, I'd say it's almost definitely going to be some longs in there if this does decide to come down. Nah, it's not really, is it? See that one as well. If you say here, that's a failure, that one, which has triggered. No. It is tempting. That's the trouble. You don't want it to go without you, but if it's like this, the sensible thing to do, I see your discipline has improved. Old you would have forced that one. It has at the moment, Tyler, but I have been tempted. But I keep trying to tell myself it's much better to not take a trade than to take a loss because it's not clear. It's clear. I mean, it does look like it's slowly working up. It does. And chances are, if you let it go, it will. But then other times you'll jump in it and it'll come back. So to me, it's not a safe trade and it's not a decent setup for someone who expects to do this for a living. Really, that's a type of trade you do on a demo or when you're learning the game. But when you know better, because we can clearly see this is choppy, when you know better, you just got to let it go. And sometimes that's the frustrating thing when you see it going up. And I'd say when it's going to break above here, and especially here, it's probably going to shoot up. I'd say there's almost definitely going to be some shorts there. So if it gets above there, I'd say it's going to absolutely pipe it. But that's part of the business. That's part of the game, isn't it? You have to play by the rules, and sometimes it goes without you. But the sensible thing to do is just to not take the trade. And thanks for your vote of confidence, Tyler. I don't know, over the last sort of week, maybe I'm starting to, hey, Sam, how you doing, mate? I'm starting to realise that I have to start taking this a little bit more serious. I think it's okay to lose a trade that fits your rules. Absolutely. Absolutely. Do you know what I find? As I was watching that there, if I jumped in and it lost, I would be angry with myself because I know it's a risky trade. Whereas if I'd taken a good setup, if that was a little bit more bullish and I'd taken that and that failed, I wouldn't feel bad because I know, I thought that might happen when we get above that. It's going to rocket up now. Because I'd know it was a good setup. And that's the problem sometimes. How you doing, Sam? Max scalp for 1 point, did he? Yeah, trouble is, you can almost hit buy anywhere in an uptrend and get a point, can't you? But yeah, see, you might have gone, well, that was a failure, or that was a nice bullish bar, but the trouble is, it's very congested, isn't it? And although we're pretty sure it's going up, you just don't know, and it's only got to come down and take you out for a tick, isn't it? And then rocket up, and in some cases it does that. And it is a shame to see all this movement go ahead, isn't it? But that's the game. And if you follow the rules, if you get yourself some skills and you follow the rules, couple of years, spending a lot of time reading these charts, you'll have enough skills to make money. But by far the most difficult part is giving in to those demons and those urges. We see we got a P account and all I've got to do is get some money and I get paid. And it's so easy to get a little bit too excited and jump in on a trade and lose one. And as soon as you do that, you kick yourself. And it's so at some point, I did have a message from a guy called Martin. I think it's Martin Kichak or Kichak, I think his name is. Nice chap. And he said to me, when were the words? I actually took a screenshot of the words because resonated with me. Let me see if I can find it. That's the trouble. I take so many screenshots of things. Let's have a look. I take hundreds of screenshots, and that's the trouble. Oh yeah, hi Lance. We've been watching your live streaming sessions and can subscribe to what Marco says. You're already a good price action trader. It just seems like despite everything man hear or read, and despite best intentions, it's still necessary to experience moments of madness, stupid impulsive revenge trading and stuff like that to be finally forged into a great trader. It requires courage to present yourself doing one of the live toughest processions in the world. No matter what you do and how you are, that was it basically. Excuse me a sec. Sorry about that. Yeah, but I like the way he worded that, and I took a shot of that message. I thought it was really nice. And sometimes people will say some really nice stuff with it. I just love that. I just love that. It seems that despite everything man hear or read, and despite our best intentions, it's still necessary to experience moments of madness, stupid, impulsive revenge trading and stuff like that to be finally forged into a great trader. I love that. It just makes perfect sense. Because we do, don't we? You know, and I've done it myself. I'm on a P account, and I did one last week. I took a short. Market was going down. I didn't want to miss it. There was no setup, and I just took a stupid short. But hopefully, those stupid trades are few and far between now. I don't take as many, but you do have those urges and impulses, and you just have to try and ignore them because they will only be detrimental to your trading, that I can assure you. So when you get these areas that you think, oh, I think it's going up, I want to get in, you've just got to resist. The sensible thing to do is that is clearly congested. It's going sideways. The sensible thing to do, yeah, we like to think it's going higher, and we were right, it did. But sometimes it'll trigger you on a lovely bar, it'll come down, tick below a couple of times, take you out, make a beautiful bullish bar and go up. And it's not that we don't think it's going up. It only needs to drop a tick below your order to take you out the trade. So it only needs to go down an extra tick and just to ruin your day. So when it's like this, and this is messy. We've had this couple of pushes up. This is messy. Up, down, shoot up, shoot down. It's messy. And it makes trading risky, especially when it's sideways. So it's so easy to get suckered in. And I was tempted. But something just dropped into my head and it went, something like this. It went, I don't have to take this trade. It's no problem. I'm not red. I'm not down. The sensible trader would leave it alone. And it worked. So I think part of it is being aware of how you're feeling. You know, sometimes we get into this zone, don't we? And I think it's good to sit back and go, hold on a minute. Let's think clearly. Is this a sensible decision? And that's what happens when those emotions start bubbling up. It draws you into that fight or flight. You don't always think clearly, but I believe the more you do this, then the more you start to be able to adapt to those feelings, and they have less of an impact on you. So that's my take on it anyway. Sorry if I rabbit on a bit, but if something works for me, I like to tell other people because, you know, and also what I've started doing now, and I did it yesterday and it helped me. I read it on a website. Keep a pad and a pen with you, and as soon as you take a losing trade, drop your mouse, write down on the pad with the pen, all the amazing things that being a successful trader can give you: financial freedom, more money than you've ever earned, the ability to never have to worry about paying your bills, having a nice car, having more money to take your family on amazing holidays. You know, you can go out for a night out, you know, in some nice clothes, splash out on a nice meal, and it's that lovely feeling to know you work for yourself. No one can touch you. You know, you can do a job which is highly respected because it's a difficult job to do. So all that, you know, sort of all that excitement, you know, and the better money, the better lifestyle comes along with it. And, you know, all that hard work pays off. And it's so much. I mean, how many, you know, just talking earlier, what I mentioned about Marco put over $2,000 in his account. That's $40,000 a month. That is life-changing money. And he worked 3 hours a day for it. You know, I know people who rip your right arm off to work 3 hours a day for that sort of money. But it's possible. It's more than possible. It's doable. You've just got to control those emotions. So I'm fighting every day now to try and control those impulses and urges. Excuse me a sec. Just taking a quick bathroom break. I'll be 2 minutes. Sorry about that. We're going away tomorrow for the weekend, so everyone's wife and daughter running around panicking. Anybody think with the suitcases we've been going away for a month? I'll sort my shit out later. It'll take me 10 minutes. Okay, yeah, we're definitely working in this channel nice. There's no argument there. And it's definitely starting to be a little bit smoother. Down here it was a bit bouncy and a bit all over the shop, but let's get rid of that. Okay, what a miss. Oh, by the way, I blew my first PA. Oh, bad luck, mate. Don't beat yourself up, Sam, about it, because you'll do it. This is my 11th, I think, so you will blow some. But the fact that you can get there is a success story in itself. So don't worry about it, mate. Like that bit I read at the moment, it's necessary and you will have moments of madness and do stupid things. And the more you do that, it will start getting your brain thinking in the right way. And it takes time. So just believe in the process and keep trying and don't beat yourself up, because I've had moments where I felt like literally throwing myself out the bedroom window. I really have. Naked Mongolian, I love that name. Very good. Yeah, frustrating for me because days, so when you're going from work, I try to trade, but I know my trading suffers because I can't be. There's lots of chart. I'll tell you what you can, mate. I'll give you a little tip here. Forget trading when the market's working. What you can do is, at the end of the day, get the market back here and literally just right-click the arrow key and it'll move one bar at a time like that. And just trade it as if it's happening. in real time like that. So you can literally go over the whole day. And in fact, it speeds up and it's a bit quicker. It's not quite as realistic, but it does enable you to be able to read the chart. So, wow, we are getting some upward movement today. Really strong movement. Wow. What have we come up from the lows here? Let's have a look. 75 points. Wow. That's some strong movement, that, isn't it? I like where that's working, so that's good. That channel fits nice. A bit of an overshoot there. That's the trouble with there, so you don't know whether we're going to come back down or push up, but sometimes the proof in the pudding's there. We're moving strongly. The ATR's dropped a bit, and I've seen some of the gorillas trading where he'll take something in, he'll just ride it. Possible measured move 9.7. You reckon as much as that, do you? See, to me, there's one leg, two leg. One leg, two leg. Yeah, maybe. So I'll take that to that. And there. Okay, that doesn't look too bad to me. One leg. Correction back to the amount. Well, yeah. It's not the most obvious ones, but well, I'm just going right to the top of the chart there, coming across the side, and let's see. So at least it's a bit of a guidance, isn't it? The frustrating thing is sometimes when it eventually gets a bloody setup, it triggers up and starts to makes a break, comes down. But like that idea, thanks. Yeah, no worries, mate. Yeah, you just literally get the chart back up and just start from the day. And then you literally, if you hit the arrow key, it just brings it one at a time and then just draw your channels as normal. And it's the same thing really as doing that. But it enables you then to go through the daily chart and see where you would have taken a trade, you know, as you come up to here. Market finishes here, then you think, second entry, you know. But that's what I used to do. And it's just a way of going through the day. Yeah, see, yeah, it's a shame about that one. In fact, they finished on its high. It just, sometimes you lose a little bit of confidence last minute because it's doing a bit of this. And if you take it from here, which we're sort of guessing it's a spiking channel because it's still early days really, and you hit this. I'd have preferred that a little bit further up. It's not the smoothest looking part of a chart there, is it? It's a bit messy. It's unfortunate really, isn't it, when it just takes off and comes back here, no real signal bar, comes back here, no. I think in hindsight now, that wasn't terrible, was it? But it's the way it went up a bit and then sideways. And the trouble is when you take that, you don't know this has happened. And when it does go sideways, you've got two choices. You either try and get out of it, preferably with a bit of profit, or you let it run. And that obviously takes skills and confidence. Looks like two legs there. Wow, there's no stopping this market today, is there? It's so frustrating. I mean, literally, anything slightly bullish that's come back to this line, you could have more or less taken, but it's easy in hindsight, and then sometimes in hindsight, you just you can sort of get these thoughts in your head that, oh, next time I'm going to do that, but it's easy when you can look after the fact. We have just taken Friday's highs. Oh, is that what it is? Only go back a few days, I think. Are we up here, are we? Is that Fridays, is it? Yeah, it is. And I got some shares in the S&P 500 and it might have benefited from today. Okay, so look at that. We've got right to the very top of the channel on what's happened. Buyers have thought, I'm not buying now, and we're coming back. So if we can, trouble is sometimes we'll come back like we did here and then range a little bit first. And then hopefully you're getting at the right place there. I think out of those, that probably would have been the safer option. It's sort of another little pullback and it's finished on its highs, and obviously after that it's pushed out. Okay, let's see if it's going to be generous. Trouble is, when it does make a good second entry long, it usually goes off like a rocket, which is why I've started using limit orders. I've been kicked out too many times with market orders. Trouble is, you just have to let it go if there's not a setup. You can't just randomly jump in, because the first time you do, you get shafted. Well, I hope we can, mate. At least we got then some options. See, trouble is, a lot of the times it'll do this. You'll get a nice big bullish bar and off it'll rocket. I kind of hope it goes a little bit sideways and you got 11 points. Good on you, mate. See, sometimes, I mean, you'll hear Max say sometimes when you get days like this, you've almost got to take anything bullish from the EMA. And they're fitting really nice, actually. I wish I'd have taken that in a sense now, but the sensible thing at the time was to leave it. So, okay, so short-term trend channel break. You just zoom in a bit here. Get a bit closer. Yeah, see, I act differently depending if I'm in the green or if I'm in the green and I've made a trade, I tend to get extra cautious. If I'm zero, I'll take a bit of a risk. If I'm red, I don't want to trade. That's the trouble sometimes. Okay, short-term trend channel break. Now this for me has to make a new low before I think about going up, because it's just sod's law. I'll take it, it'll tick up, come down, make a new low, bounce off here and shoot right up. And unfortunately, this is the case. Sometimes it just doesn't give you the setup. But that's all you need, is one decent setup, 3 or 4 points, and that's it for the day. Okay, let's see if we can get below here and then get bullish. It's just got to drop below here. Let me get an order ready just in case one, because it may go quick.
Order submitted.
Come down here. There's our new low. Okay, let's see what happens now. I would prefer 2 legs down, which is a second entry. Okay, I like where it's come to. If we can push up and get above this EMA, then I'll get in on one of them. Does look like 2 nice legs back to the EMA. If it ends up bullish, it's definitely bouncing around. I don't like what it's doing, I gotta say. And this just could rocket up. It really could. One leg, 2 legs. It's a bit more than 2 legs, isn't it? So tempting that. What's the size of it? 2 points, isn't it? Let's see if we can get a higher low. Okay, so try to go one strike size fairly. So if this triggers and we get a higher low, then I'm interested. It's so bullish, I've got to say. Let's see if it holds and doesn't take out that second entry long. Might all rocket up. Yeah, it's just too risky, that is. It's just so risky. It's probably going to rocket up. It does, doesn't it? But let's see if we can get a failure. Okay, so there's our first entry, but it's just not a good bar, is it? But typically it'll probably still push up anyway. But you've just got to avoid those at all costs because they will get you in trouble. And I'm speaking from experience. So many times I've just tried to go in and just think, well, it's got to go up again, and you just get shafted. And most of the times, and the most frustrating ones, are when they'll take you out for a tick or two and go exactly where you thought they were going to go. May get a little bit sideways here. Let me just get rid of that a minute. I don't want
Order
it to
cancelled.
fly down and hit me. Okay, that's a failure. So let's get an order ready just in case.
Order submitted.
Push above that EMA. Just thinking whether maybe some shorts in there. I don't know.
Order cancelled.
I don't like those rapid movements. This is unpredictable. Just can't trade this. It could go up, it could go down. I think it's likely to go up eventually, but it may come down and stop out anything that you're trying to move with. See what happens. See if it'll come down as low as here, because that was the second entry long there. Yeah, it did. So you'd have got stopped out of there. So you'd have may have got 2 points at a push, but that's why I left that alone. It's just so risky. If you're going to take a trade like that, it's got to be back to the EMA and no more, really. Yeah, you'd have scalped a point. That's it. But for me, it's just too risky. Now let's see now. One leg, two leg. See if it fade this back in. I'm tempted to fade this back
Order
in. I think this is
submitted.
okay. See how it finishes. I like that.
Order filled.
I like that to fade it back in. One leg, two leg. One leg, two leg. One leg, two leg. I am expecting it to go higher, and we've broken out the bottom of this range. Might get out of this for a small loss, I will. Come on, come back up.
Order
Oh
filled.
dear. Okay. Okay. Okay, it happened. Okay, just the way it came down, one leg, two leg. I'm expecting a new high. It's been really bullish. Okay, it happened. There's no point worrying about it. Are you trading the tick chart? Yeah. Yes, 2000 tick chart. Yeah. It's all right. As we bounced off this, I thought one leg, two legs as we bounced off this. Oh well. Okay, so it happened. I was fading that. I thought that was okay. One leg, two leg, expecting a new high. Oh well. No point worrying about it. One leg, two leg. Oh, so tempting. Okay, see if we can push above the EMA. Looks like two legs to me. I can't think about shorts just at the moment until we've maybe retested, because we've come right to the top, right to the top. So I've got to stop trying to pick those bottoms. Oh, okay. All good, live and learn, yeah. One leg, two leg. See, the issue is now, and I've been caught by, we've got one leg, two leg, expecting a new high, but at the moment, sometimes it'll push up here and you'll go long thinking, and it'll come short. In other words, we're staying down, so there's nothing I can do at the moment. I'm just going to have to sit through this. Yeah, see, it's touched there, touched there. So it hasn't really confirmed this, so let's leave this. This to me is two legs down at the moment. I'm frustrated I took that. Picking bottoms again. I've got to stop picking bottoms. Okay, is that tick below or not? No, it isn't. Well, what I saw there was this. It's come down and bounced. Excuse me a second. Ah, sorry. Yeah, what's on? I've been yammering away. I don't know how long I've been on mute for. Okay, I'll chat away there. Okay. Okay, let's have a look. How did I just mention? Sorry, I don't think. Yeah, there was that one I pointed out. You wouldn't have heard me talking about it. It was a failure. Yeah, it's just. Yeah, I did. Sorry, mate. Let me just go back to it. What was it? That was it there. Yeah. Okay. So we got that high, broke higher than that. So then we first attempt to go high, second attempt to high. That was the one. It was the failure. We're clearly coming down. We had the one leg down and the second leg. So yeah, that's where I was. And I looked at that and it triggered below. And then all of a sudden it just dropped like a stone. So it would have been okay. Just it's how it works sometimes. But what I tend to do as soon as I come on the chart, I'm careful what I do because sometimes it's a good to get a little bit in tune with the market. Okay, that was a second entry long. Oh, let's have a look. It's congested again, isn't it? That's a failure. That's a failure. It's just risky though. I'd say it was likely going to have another leg. Yeah, it's a failure which is triggered, but I don't know. It's just risky. What was the reason on taking that trade? Break out of this range and a little bit of side was there. It looked to me like we came out, we had a break, we had one leg, two legs, and that's why I took it thinking we're going up because we've been so strong. So it was just, I don't know, it wasn't the best choice of trades. And obviously it's sort of stopping here and prices were sort of bounced off here. So for me, it was it was a second entry from here. I mean, we had the short-term trend line, we had a break, and we had a push sideways down, and it was bullish. But that would have been the better option, the measured move, which obviously then worked. But I'd say we can have another leg up here from this failure. One leg. Trouble is, what's the size of that bar? 2.2, 3.25. No, it's just risky. Risky. Okay, I think I'm going to leave it there, guys. Actually, I've done 3 hours now. It's just going slow now. So okay, so I'm going to be off tomorrow. Five, you're right, mate. I'm just about to go. I'm going to be off tomorrow, and Monday. So no trading Friday or Monday. So have a great weekend. Don't forget I got the valuation there. If you a code there, if you take anything, so I'd appreciate it. So have a great weekend, and I'll be back on Tuesday. Stay safe, everyone, and take it easy. And I will see you on Tuesday.